Hey, Shalom, Mishal. I'm going to start off souls by giving no praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kodash, that belongs to the apostles of GMS, and honor to you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. It's a quick one. This is the second time something like this has kind of come up in the last couple of, last month or so, even because I remember there was an article coming out last month, I think it was, where basically 140,000 jobs that were lost in a particular a week, I believe it was basically all for basic women's jobs, right? And this is another example of that. It says almost 20,000 women set to lose jobs following the collapse of Arcadia and Debenhams as online giants Boohoo and ASOS stalk high street titans. Now, there's two things to take off of this, right? And that is the first thing you read the scripture speaks about how the the door shall be shut in the streets, right? So we're going to grab that. This is Ecclesiastes 12 from around the third verse. Right, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves, if the ground is ceased because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right, so let's break that down. It says, in the days when the keepers of the house are tremble and the strong men shall bounce on the ground is ceased because they are few. Right, the ground is ceasing because that's basically referring to like your workers. Okay, and there's going to be lots less and less jobs. Why? Because at the end of the day, these devils, what their aim is, they're aiming for a jobless society. They're aiming for a society where you just get that universal basic income, and where does it come? It comes on your chip, right? That is the aim of these people, right? These elites, right? It says, and the ground is seized because they are few, and those, yeah. So it means all of these other jobs, there ain't no need for them, right? We're at a place now where technology can do so much. Okay, and in fact, probably worthy of a video in its own. But you had this last year quite a major advancements in commercial AI, and this is the key thing, because what you see in the in the commercial sphere is many years behind the military sphere of technology in general, right? So the commercial AI, there was a release called GTP3, right? I don't know what that stands for, but basically it was an AI, and the things that you can do with it, no one's job is safe. Okay, people are like, oh, but you need the web developers, software developers. No, you don't. And with this example, with this GTP3, what they were able to do is to literally say, design me a website with a image at the top and blah 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 at the bottom and some text and some navigation, and this piece of software, this piece of AI was able to do it. Okay, so imagine what they've got on a on a hidden level, right? What the elites are dealing with, the AI that they're dealing with. So a lot of these jobs that you're seeing are null and void. Okay, you think about these stockbrokers, the stocks, a computer can do your job better. And you know what? Those jobs that are still manual, guess what? You're training a computer, because that's the thing, right? No matter what it is that we do nowadays in this society, we are training an AI. Okay, you're on YouTube, you click a video, you watch this, right? Yeah, it's teaching you your suggestions, but there's just so much more going on behind the scenes. Okay, why? Because it knows whether you're a man. It knows why? Because other people who have opted in and said, actually, yeah, you can, track my, this, that, and the other, right? They're able to see, okay, with a 99% assurity that you are a man and you like these things, and then that's training an AI to basically work out who you are as an individual. Okay, right? So a lot of these things that we're doing right now, we're just training an AI, right? So people like to think that their jobs are going to last forever. That is just not true. Okay, and you're seeing that with this whole thing at the moment. This whole thing at the moment has basically shown that no one's job is safe, right? Because at the end of the day, the elites don't want you to have a job, right? They just want you to be a perpetual slave unto them, right? They don't want you to think. Okay, it says, and those that look out the windows be darkened. So this is going into your forecasters that are looking at jobs and not jobs, looking, the stock market, whatever, what have you, your financial forecasters, right? Things ain't looking too good. Those that are in the know, right? Not your high street CNBC guys, right? They're part of the establishment, but your guys, your alternative media guys, they know that all hell's about to break loose. Okay. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. That's what you're seeing. You see major stores and outlets basically calling it quits, calling it, basically saying, look, man, hey, this is it. Right? Ain't no need, right, to have these stores open. That's what, when you come out of, Oxford Circus Station, which is one of the busiest shopping streets in Europe, well, if not it was the busiest, I don't know about now. Right. But it says, you come out, the first thing that you saw was that Top Man, right? Not so Top Man, that Top Shop, major store, right? It's being sold, I believe, in the millions. I think the building, I think something like it's several million, tens of millions. I don't want to put a wrong number out there. Okay. Um, but yeah, so we go back here, right? Wait, no, let's finish that precept, right? So, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grounding is low, when there's no work, and he shall rise up with the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, right? So let's read. So, I mean, that's really the point. Almost 20,000 women set to lose jobs following the collapse of Arcadian Debenhams. And also it means that the money isn't going to be there like that anymore, because how these people make excess money is all of the other stuff that you see when you're buying, right? You know why? Because they know that especially women. That's why one of the reasons why these elites wanted women out in the workplace, so that they can go and make their own money, is women spend very differently to men. Okay, men for the most part, if let's say we need some jeans, we go in the store, these are my jeans, get my jeans and leave. Whereas women are more like, oh, I want some jeans. Oh, those are cute. I want those as well. Oh, that's cute as well. And then, but before you know it, they bought 10 things when it only came in for one. Right now, that is a lot harder experience to do online, right? Because you're not physically there, you're not touching it, you don't walk in one way where you see it. So obviously that means less money is going to be made. That's just the way I look at it, right? So that less money is going to be made that way, right? So these may not have been as good a business dealing as you'd expect, okay? But hey, let's come on, these stupid sites, man, all of these stupid ads, right? So this is Isaiah 32:9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease, right? And Esau's basically made a society where these women are at ease. Esau's told women that they don't need men, right? But that is simply not true. And I'm not, people say, oh, you're sexist, chauvinistic. Look, that's just how the Most High made it, okay? The Most High made it such that in fact, there's this, let's grab that. This is, was it Matthew 19? It says Matthew 19:6, right? It says, wherefore, 19:4 says, and he answered and said unto them, have you not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh, right? So you become, when you get, you marry a woman, which is an act by act of sex, right? Pursuant to Exodus 22:16, that is, sex is marriage according to the Bible, okay? It says, and for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. So two become one, right? It says, wherefore they no more twain, they are no more twain, but one flesh, right? What therefore the Most High hath joined together, let no man put asunder, right? So he has basically upended that, and and that's why Scripture speaks in Isaiah 29:16 about you're turning of things upside down. Here it is, the Most High made a particular way, and he came along and he flipped that way, okay? Why? Because he is the devil, or he's the deceiver, and that he's just doing what he, what do you call it? What's in his nature to do? Let's just say it as that. Okay. So it says, right, what did I finish everything? Yes, read the point. Right. So the Most High made it such that man and woman were together. Right. And then in the kingdom it's gonna be man and his several women, right? His several wives. Right, because according to Israel law, a man can have as many wives as he wants, as he can afford, right? Because you got to pay dowries on all of them wives and take care of them, okay? Because that's another thing. He, with his philosophies and agendas, what Scripture says, transgresseth by wine. That wine represented philosophies. One of the things that he pushes is that, when a man's got, many women, he doesn't treat them right. No, according to Israel law, if you got many women, right, yeah, you got to make sure that she's clothed, you got to make sure that she's fed, right? If she bears you your first son, guess what? He best get that birthright, okay? So those are all these different philosophies that this devil pushes out, right? So let's carry on back again. So Isaiah 32:9, rise up, you women that are at ease, hear my voice, you careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come, right? And those are all of those different goodies that this devil has afforded, right? Because once again, at the end of the day, there is an order, and the only thing keeping up this disorder is Esau himself, the devil. Okay, he's the one upholding this disorder, right? So you take away the police, guess what? All of a sudden, those same protections that these women enjoy, those go away immediately, right? Now, what we're saying is, look, get you a man of the Lord, right? Yeah, there's several brothers out there looking for women, right? Get you a man of the Lord and you will be protected in these last days, right? But guess what? It is not meet for the large majority, right, of women out there to be with a man of the Lord. Now, that's why, really, brothers, we can't really feel a certain way if we don't get a woman, right? Because you might be on a particular chick, right? But then, like, she just ain't worthy. She hate it. And I remember our elder brother was speaking on it. Well, basically, it's like, look, man, she's destined to be with the 2/3 and be destroyed with that 2/3. Okay, but if it is for your, if you're one of the lucky few, or really, Scripture says 7 women shall take hold of one man. But if you're one of them, get you a man of the Lord, man, right? And be protected that way. Why? Because he isn't going to protect you in these last days. In fact, you're one of the pawns in his game, right? That pawn being, look, I'm going to use you to what do you call it, to as a whipping stick against the men, right? So I'll carry on. It's Isaiah 32:10, right? Many days and years shall ye be troubled, right? Ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, you careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the good times, right? For the pleasant fields and for the fruitful vine, right? Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous cities, right? So Lord is coming to visit this place, man. Lord is coming to visit this place, and that's for all of us, because this is the thing. People like to always remember when we're talking about, these women, whatever, what have you. But we got to understand, you look at the scriptures. Also, for the most part, it's getting on the men of Israel. Right, we speak when most time it says children of Israel. You read the Hebrew word there. It says is the Hebrew word ban, which is son. Right, the sons of Israel. Right, so the scriptures is constantly getting on the men. There's certain times when we'll get on women. Right, just like how for us, for the most part, we're getting on the men, and then there'll be certain times that we'll get on the women. Okay. Right, but as the scripture says here in verse 2, it says, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, right, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And that's the man of the Lord, right? Shall be a covert from, and a hiding place from basically all this terrible, terrible things that are going to be happening in these last days, right? So once again, you women, you've got a choice. You can humble yourself, understand the order, pursuant to 1 Corinthians 11th chapter, right? Find yourself a man of the Lord, right? And, let him be your Lord. You read that in, what was it? Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, right? That's written in the scriptures, right? So, hey, he's your Lord now, right? Or you can follow the ways of Esau and go after his ways and be destroyed with him. This is Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, right? Which modern day Egypt, that's America, right? And all the philosophies, in this instance, I'm going to say, you people will take comfort in these philosophies of Esau, right, and follow after the philosophies of Esau. But the philosophies of Esau are death, okay? So then stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, right? But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh, right? So when these people are looking at Esau, right, Esau, he's the one that can heal you from these plagues, so I'm going to go to him. Whereas here it is, The Most High is the one that ultimately gives healing. You read that in Sirach, the 38th chapter, right? So all of these different people going to all of these different places, other than Yahweh Hashem Yahushua for sanctuary, for hope, they're going to be destroyed, right? The only protection comes from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And that's us as men, that's where we're looking. As hopeful men of the Lord, that's where we're looking. We know what's happening with these jobs. They're going away. Right? All of these jobs, they're going away. Okay? Why? Because we understand that this is not part of E's agenda. Okay? So, I'm gonna leave it there, man. Laws what I was edifying as always. Until next time we say shalom.